Hello everyone! Next, let's go through how to set each individual rule and term in the shareholders' agreement. We'll start with the governance rules. The first rule under rules. These rules define the general principles for how the company is governed in day-to-day operations. First attribute, base on par. This is the basis for calculating voting rights. There are two options. One is based on subscribed capital and the other is based on paid-in capital. In the selection box, choose true for subscribed capital or false for paid-in capital. In most cases, we choose false, meaning voting rights are based on the amount of capital actually paid in. Second attribute, proposal weight ratio of members. This sets the voting power threshold. Shareholders need to jointly propose a resolution. The default is 10%. That means shareholders holding 10% or more of total voting rights can submit a motion to the general meeting. Third attribute, proposal head ratio of members. This means the right to propose resolutions can be based either on voting power percentage or on the percentage of shareholder headcount. For example, if 10% or more of shareholders by number join together, they can submit a proposal. Fourth attribute, proposal head ratio of directors in a general meeting. This sets how many directors are needed to jointly propose a resolution at a general meeting. The default is 1/3, meaning 1/3 or more of the board can submit a proposal for shareholders to vote on. Next attribute, proposal head ratio of directors in board meeting. Note that this applies to board meetings, not general meetings. It defines how many directors are needed to propose a resolution at a board meeting. The default is 10%, meaning 10% or more of directors can jointly submit a proposal for board review. Next, max quantity of members. This is the maximum number of shareholders. This number was entered when the company's bookkeeping system was set up, but the shareholders' agreement allows it to be changed in a new version. This is important because when a company restructures, for example, from an LLC to a joint stock company, the shareholder limit may increase from 50 to 200 or more. Any change like this cannot be decided by one shareholder alone. It must be discussed and voted on by the general meeting. Next, quorum of generating meeting. This defines the minimum voting rights required for a general meeting to be valid. The default is 50%, meaning at least half of all voting rights must participate for the resolution to take effect. Next, max member of directors. This is the maximum number of directors on the board. The default is 5, and it can be changed depending on company size. Next, tenure months of board. This is the term length of the board, in months. The default is 36 months, which is 3 years. That's the standard board term for most companies. Next, quorum of board meeting. This sets the minimum number of directors with voting rights who must participate, whether for, against, or abstaining, for a board resolution to be valid. Next, company establishment date. Let's say the company was founded on September 9, 2022. Next, term of company. Note, the unit here is years. The default is 20 years, but you can change it to 50 years or more. Next, company type. The default is limited liability company. In the drop-down menu, you'll also see options like private joint stock company or public listed company. This leaves room for future restructuring. Next, vote ratio report threshold. Simply put, this is the ownership percentage above which a shareholder must disclose their holdings. This is a legal requirement in stock markets. Both the US and China use 5%. In the Kombu system, this threshold also affects how shareholder voting power is ranked on the top chain, which we'll explain later. Basically, only shareholders holding 5% or more are ranked. Those below the threshold are considered small shareholders and are not included in the ranking. Next, payment threshold. This defines the amount above which any disposal of company assets requires a shareholder vote. Below this threshold, the board can approve it directly. On the blockchain, Asset disposal means transferring tokens to a third party. Currently, the system recognizes two types of crypto assets. One is Ethereum's native token, Ether, and the other is the Kenbu system token, CBP, or Kenbu points. For example, if a payment exceeds 1,000 Ether, it must be approved by the general meeting. After entering all the parameters and attributes, click Update. But before you do that, make sure you switch your user role to the agreements drafter. Otherwise, you won't be able to make changes. Then, write the general governance rules into the draft shareholders agreement and click Confirm. Once you do that, you'll see the button for general governance rules change from white to blue. That means the updated content has been successfully saved. Alright, thank you. See you in the next video.